Moving on, then we have another cult classic show.
He moves through the night like a shadow. For some, he is a rumor, a name whispered in the corridors of the underworld.
Get everyone on the street! We've got to stop him now!
They're about to find out he's all too real.
You think I've been bad news before?
Batman, tonight at 6. Peekaboo. Good guys wear black.
And Batman the Animated Series. And
we don't even have to talk about this. This is S tier.
S tier, yeah.
Flat out, like this is an all-timer.
Where exactly
Kevin
above
Conroy, come on, like
I would say top.
Yep. Damn.
Yep. It's so critical for like modern Batman in any way that it's got to be up there.
Yeah.
I did watch a couple episodes. So for me, I already knew Kevin Conroy because I played the Batman Arkham games, which he was in there. I watched a couple of not Justice League. It was something else. But he was Batman in there. And then a bunch of the movies that Toonami played during the DC fandom stuff. And then I did watch a couple episodes of the animated series, and I understand wholeheartedly. I think one of the episodes I saw was that one where he was hallucinating on Scarecrow, and he kept seeing his parents saying that they're ashamed, and then in the end he was like, "No, I am the Knight, I am Batman," and I got goosebumps seeing that. So I understand.
There's a reason that Kevin Conroy, Mark Hamill, and Arlene Sorkin were constantly coming back for their roles in stuff that even wasn't just flat out like Batman the Animated Series related. They became the iconic versions of those characters.
It's probably not hyperbole to say Batman the Animated Series is the most important action animated series ever.
I would honestly agree with that. Yeah.
Same.
And as for Toonami Legacy, looking back, I didn't even realize how much they actually did play this on Toonami, because they kind of played it on the outside of Toonami for a while, but then they incorporated it into the block even sooner than I remembered them doing. And, it was there for years.
Yeah, I'm looking at the wiki, and out of all 109 episodes, only 4 of them didn't air. It was 2000 to 2002.
Yeah, it was a long stay. Plus, they had the Batman Superman events. Batman was a huge part of Toonami. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
All right. Oh, Batman the Animated Series in S tier. And we move on, and I hate that I watched this.
Devotion, concentration, diligence. These are the principles by which Tenchi Masaki has lived.
What the? Tenchi, darling, let's go! You are just so sweet!
These days, it's a little more chaotic.
I like you. He really is something else.
Tenchi Muyo, tonight at 6.
Tenchi, hi-yo!
Loves Tenchi.
Tenchi Muyo. I only saw the first, season. I only saw the first season, which is, the first 13 episodes or whatever. And
Some will tell you that's the best.
The thing was,
right.
the thing was that I was gonna skip it, but Silver, for the love of God, is the Tenchi guy for some reason. And I'm just Silver will have my neck if I don't at least see one of these. So let me just put the original Tenchi show, because from what I hear, that's the best one. And I literally watched it with him, and I'm literally just like, what the fuck am I watching? What the fuck's going on?
You're watching a bunch of space gods pining over a 14-year-old boy.
Literally. And then I'm just like, why is for some reason all of fucking space after him?
Got them
And
good genes.
and then it was just like getting so fucking ridiculous in the end, because then like the what's the name of the animal, like the freaking little cat alien,
Oh
like
no!
yeah, that
No, I
too.
can't believe they would do that.
Oh man.
It's the name is Ryooki.
Yeah, and I was just like, I don't know what's going on anymore. And by
Oh
the end
man,
of
you don't even want to know what's happened in the more recently released anime.
no, yeah, no, and I was also told, oh, it's a multiverse, and I'm like, what the fuck? How? I don't want to know.
Just cause.
Uh, uh,
Let me
uh,
get into this.
I,
Tenchi
I,
Muyo. Okay, who wants to go first?
I should say I watched the uncensored version. I know Toonami had their own special edited version for it, like giving all the ladies like swimsuits in the bath
Honestly, the
and all
editing
that.
of that is incredible.
It is for the era they did it in. It's insane.
They were batshit insane to go through the process of doing that just to air this on daytime Cartoon Network. Why?
Yeah.
Why they didn't have to go that hard?
Yeah, they didn't have to give
But
it a
they did.
they didn't have to give it a Peter
And it
Cullen narrated
changed
promo
all our
too.
childhoods. It changed all our childhoods by being crazy enough to edit Tenchi Muyo for daytime Cartoon Network.
So who else wants to speak?
No one in
about
their
it?
right mind would do that. No, I have a lot to say about Tenchi Muyo. It's a very dear show to me because it was the only anime that my sister would watch with me, and it was a good bonding time. And it was a lot of fun watching it when it was premiering on Toonami. I think I had the inkling that it was edited because of the stuff like with the T and all of that. It's very funny because at one point my parents got me a subtitled uncut VHS tape, and I turned to my sister. I'm like, they don't even know that there's nudity on this. I don't think I ever actually watched the tape. I was such a pure soul. But Tenchi Muyo is a huge mess, and some would say the original OVA is what best. I might disagree with that, but it's it's okay. It's an okay anime. I'm open to other people's thoughts.
The funny thing for me is when I was a kid, there's a PBS station in the South Bay Area in California, and they had a Sunday block where they ran anime. A lot of the stuff that I've worked on at Discotech originally, like if you look them up, like they only ever broadcast on like this PBS station. I watched Evangelion there for the first time, and before Toonami got Tenchi, they ran the first two OVAs on this PBS block. And keep in mind, the editing that was done by Cartoon Network. So the version that aired on PBS was the uncensored version.
What time of night did
That's
they air that?
What? Wow.
Between 9 p.m. and like all the way till after midnight, and Tenchi was airing at like 11:30 or midnight, like something around there. if I remember
Okay.
right. Yeah.
Meanwhile,
but,
Cartoon Network's like, we can't play Ranma.
But yeah, like that was the thing, was they ran, so like I'd seen it there, and that was the thing, was I remember when they announced that it was coming to Toonami, I was like, how? Like, how are you going to do this? And sure enough, we ended up finding out that yeah, they went through and did all that ridiculous editing, like it was absolutely impressive. It's Tenchi. I mean, I guess way I can put it.
Like, it's a progenitor of the harem genre. It's a very important anime. Is it a good anime? I'm gonna flat out say I think maybe Universe is better because of Kione, if nothing else.
I would agree.
I agree. Yeah.
Though visuals are definitely better in the OVA.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
Mhm.
hard to beat OVA production budgets.
Mhm. But
So
yeah,
Tenchi OVAs they're just so freaking weird, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
Tenchi Muyo is just a hot damn mess. To be honest.
oh my
There's a
God.
lot of hot messes in there, I'll tell you what.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. So where would y'all rank Tenchi Muyo, the original at least?
C.
C.
Yeah.
See, yeah.
Where on
Like-
C though? Above Gundam Wing?
I would put it above Gundam Wing.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
It's a lot more entertaining to revisit.
True. Yeah, true.
Yeah, well, speaking of Tenchi, we got 2 more to go through.
Tenchi Masaki, the most eligible bachelor in the universe.
Hi.
He's got the looks, the luck, and 6 ladies still after his heart.
Tenchi is mine. Leave us alone. What you say? You mean you're...
Hey, now listen.
Don't make it difficult. Who says this woman has that I don't? Can you tell me? Huh?
Love is a battlefield. The Tenchi saga continues with Tenchi Universe. Next,
Oh, this is too perfect.
only Toonami. Country living is getting a little dull.
What? You're leaving all of us?
Yeah.
Tenchi's moving on to the big city.
I'll have some peas.
If only it were that simple.
I'll never give up.
The
Never.
final chapter in the Tenchi saga. Tenchi in Tokyo, starting Friday at 6.
He's putting his arms around that girl.
Love is still a battlefield. Only Toonami.
Next is Tenchi Universe. I don't
I
know.
would rank it above it. I might be willing to give it a B, but it's still
I'd put it like low B on that.
Yeah, low B. Yeah, low B.
Yeah, I've only seen the first OVA because I said I'm only watching one of these. I'm not seeing a bunch. I'm not seeing all of them. And then we got Tenchi in Tokyo.
Oh, D.
D. D.
Okay, I'm
I
gonna
might
assume.
even give it lower.
I'm gonna assume that it's not one of the best. I don't want to say. I was gonna say I don't want to say it's the worst because I know
it's
GXP
not the
exists.
worst.
Here's how much you can tell that anybody gives a shit about Tenchi in Tokyo is Funimation released, I think it was the Blu-rays, it might have been one of the DVD re-releases, but they spelled the spine Tenchi in Toiko, and nobody noticed until the thing shipped. And then nobody bothered. They're just like, whatever. They're like, yeah, deal with
Whatever. Who cares? No,
Yeah.
nobody cares.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, like okay. There are definitely worse anime. There are worse Tenchi series. We'll get to that. But it was such a downgrade after Tenchi Universe that I watched all of it on Toonami and I was like, why did I watch that?
Wonderful.
I'm going to Tokyo. You can't change my mind.
Oh God, I just gotta say that dub, man. Like I saw. Anyway, moving
90s dubs.
on. Jesus. Fuck. So moving on.
Fun fact: the voice of Irma on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was Ayeka.
Yeah.
Oh.
And now you can't unhear it. I always thought she sounded like such an old lady. Which I suppose she technically was, but she was still supposed to be like pretty young.
So moving
Whatever.
on.
Prepare yourself for the biggest interactive television event ever. Convergence is coming. The Intruder. Download early. Only Toonami.com. The revolution will have an integrated online component.
We finally have come to our first total immersion event. The Intruder. I did watch like on YouTube like a couple of times. I've seen it like multiple times. Like one was like an old like SD cut, Another time, I think Junior uploaded like a higher quality version of
It's
it,
changed everything.
and then I later saw that they like Slim put out a 4K version of that, 4K 60 version, which is insane. But yeah, so
Thank
yeah,
you, Slim.
are we putting S on this?
Yeah, like
Yep.
it was the moment that Toonami went from just being a packaging for a TV block to actually having its own like real narrative.
It's also where
So,
they
like,
introduced S.A.R.A.
yeah, like it's so
Yep.
important for again the history of the block that like yeah, it's got to go S.
Where
And, you
I'd
know,
probably
it had good dramatic tension.
I'd probably put it below the actual shows that are on the S tier, just because it's like it's good on its own, but like it's one of those things that like it doesn't really do much. And even saying that's like not really fair, but it's just like it's not a TV show, you know.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I should say not to jump the gun a bit because I know we'll talk about this later, but like because I jumped into Toonami around 2015 and I did see Intruder 2 when it was airing. But I didn't know about an Intruder 1. So when when the Blob monster was there, I had no idea who that was only until years later and then seeing Intruder 1 a couple times that I realized, "Oh, that's the first Tom."
Yeah, that was
Like
it was
Yeah.
a really cool moment.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we'll get there when we get to Intruder 2. But next on the list,
In the near future, one man is despised above all others.
The world will not be destroyed. It will merely change.
A brilliant scientist who decided humanity wasn't worthy of inheriting the Earth.
Mankind has grown too large.
When the tide rolled in, no one knew it would be forever.
I do not accept this world. To it, I shall always say no.
Now, the remaining land dwellers wage war against the hordes of Zorndike's creation for the right to survive. The future of mankind rests with the crew of Blue Submarine No. 6.
This is it! We fight to the death!
Toonami is proud to present the future of anime in a 4-part miniseries.
World of endless blue.
Blue Submarine No. 6 premieres Monday, November 6th at 6. Only Toonami.
is Blue Submarine No. 6. Now, I did actually go out of my way to watch this, and so one thing I also want to mention is that see when I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch these old shows. Some the like trying to watch some of these shows nowadays is like pulling teeth
It's
because
easy to find Blue Sub.
well, yeah, but
Buy it on Blu-ray from Discotheque Media. Hashtag shameless plug.
When I looked up Blue Sub, the only legal way to stream it was Tubi TV. So I literally made an account on Tubi just to watch Blue Submarine No. 6.
Oh,
And
it's not on Crunchyroll anymore? I could have sworn it was on
no,
there.
I looked it up. Like I literally went to Google. I went like to all the services. Couldn't find it. The only place to stream it, Tubi. And even then, it was like standard definition, but it was so freaking fuzzy. Like, I mean, I watched it.
It hasn't held up.
Visually,
it hasn't held up.
Yeah, I was gonna say because it's like some of the characters look nice, but then when they start like you know with the submarines and all this tech, they clash so hard. Like I remember, I forgot the guy's name. He's like on the back of a boat, like with his gun, shooting at a robot. But like it's this 2D anime character with holding a gun, sitting on top of a freaking CG, like late 90s CG animated boat, and it does not look right. And it just was distracting. But I mean, other than that, I mean, I enjoyed it. That's all I really got from it. I'd like. How do y'all feel about Blue Submarine?
It's okay. It was pretty cool when it first aired. It was neat that Toonami ran something like this at all. Again, something you would not think that anybody would put on a children's block.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
The most points it gets is how well they implemented scenes from it for AMVs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna
But
say.
despite that, it might be a high D.
Yeah, I'd probably go there. I mean, it's like you said, it doesn't look very good. There's a reason that people still seek out the old DVD release of it over the Blu-ray, because it's infamous as one of the, like, when people mention Q-Tech and what they do for upscaling, although they renamed themselves to Coop, QOOP or something like that. Like Blue Sub is the quintessential example of a Q-Tech upscale. It's smeary. It's just ugh. It does not hold up very well. I mean, for an adaptation of a manga from the 70s, it was, it wasn't bad. I mean, it felt like it probably could have used another couple episodes, but obviously that's not really Toonami's problem. But yeah, I'd probably put it as like a high D because it's entertaining enough for what it is.
Yeah, I
Uh,
agree.
It
I
does have a
actually
good
go with.
soundtrack.
yeah, I was gonna
Oh,
say like
absolutely.
when the credits rolled, that jazz piece that played, I was like bopping my head to that.
You know what? How about Low C?
I
Low
could go with
C,
that.
low
Yeah,
C.
that's why I had it. I had it at low C. Yeah.
All right, Blue Submarine, low C. Next up on the list.
There is an alien among us. A superior being from a place called Krypton. Deep in the heart of the city, he watches for signs of danger. Ready to act on a moment's notice. His true name is Kal-El. You know him as Superman.
Maybe you ladies haven't heard about me.
The future of Metropolis is in the hands of the Man of Steel.
Get up!
Superman.
Get up.
He's gonna be busy.
I said get up.
Superman, starting November 13th at 6:30. Only Toonami.
Superman the animated series. I did see a couple episodes of this. Like one thing I knew going into it was that Clancy Brown plays Lex Luthor, and I hear that's like one of the best roles he's ever done. And I love anything that
Ain't
Clancy
nobody
Brown
ever
does.
done it better.
Yep.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say I love anything that Clancy Brown does. So I was already and just when I was hearing him, I'm like,
That whole
this
cast is immaculate.
this pure sex to the ears. Oh, and like one other thing, or two other things I should say, because I remember when My Adventures with Superman was coming out, there was a section of people debating which Lois was better, the 90s Superman or My Adventures. And after seeing this series, I was saying, I can understand why a generation of people were attached to this version of Lois. Uh, and one other thing that caught me off guard because I was watching this and like one of the voices stood out to me so much, and I'm like, why does he sound familiar? Because the voice of Jimmy Olsen is David Kaufman, who plays Danny Fenton in my
Yep.
favorite cartoon ever, Danny Phantom. So I was like, oh my god. But but yeah, I saw the first like 10 episodes of it, and I had a really like I enjoyed it a lot. Um, you know, but I mean, these are just first impressions, but like, I can understand why this show, was, I don't know the right word, like not a monument, like a classic, I guess. Because it was also in like the same by a lot of the same team behind Batman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And
really where the DC animated universe kicked off because
Yeah.
Batman was originally just its own thing.
mm-hmm.
And honestly, I think Superman the animated series is a bit more consistent than Batman the animated series, which has like really high highs and kind of episodes. But Superman animated series is kind of like, it's always been pretty good, sometimes really good. And I'm just disappointed that a lot of people overlook it these days. I think it's absolutely fantastic, deserves more
Mhm.
props. So I'd
Y-
easily S tier, probably put it after Powerpuff.
I'd
Uh,
agree with that.
Yeah.
Agree.
S tier after Powerpuff before Intruder.
Yeah.
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 All right. Next up,
Welcome to the future.
Transferring to autopilot mode.
A place where good guys finish last.
I'll make them wish they'd never been born.
A quick draw is the best defense.
Nothing personal, but I'm here to kill you.
And your wits are all you can count on. A future where one treasure is coveted above all else.
Tell me the coordinates of the galactic ley line.
Legend speaks of the galactic ley line, offering the ultimate power of the universe to those who seek its glory.
The doors have opened.
Utilizing the latest technology, a living starship has been built with the power to find the galactic ley line.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Off system screen.
By twist of fate, it has fallen into the hands of an outlaw. An outlaw named Gene Starwind.
Well, let's blow some hot kisses to my devoted fans.
His luck is about to change.
Goodbye, G.
Together with his crew of bounty hunters, he'll take to the stars.
Accelerate and fly down their throats.
Outlaw Star. Premiering Monday, January 15th at 6:30. Time to roll the dice. Only Toonami.
All sensors are functioning.
Gene, are you going into space someday? What do you think you're going to be doing up there? Treasure hunting? Bounty hunting?
No, pirate hunting.
Close your eyes!
Why are those pirates after you?
We're after the same treasure.
Hand over Melvina.
What the hell makes that girl such a special prize?
Go!
The enemy is closing in.
Now you're about to see how good I can really be.
It seems that we have underestimated our opponents.
Outlaws never go down easy.
Time to take them all down.
Time to roll the dice. Again. Outlaw Star. Premiering next Saturday at 2:30 a.m.
So if you didn't have a gun, would you run away?
Only when I don't have one.
too bad Silver's not here. Outlaw Star. I did see this because it aired in 2017, and I was there when that was happening. I at the time, I really I enjoyed it a lot. I liked like kind of the story that it was having and the setting somewhat. And yeah, and I know a lot of the old classic promos like stem from this, like the iconic Dreams music video like came from this, which I didn't notice it until later that when it came back on Adult Swim that they did a tongue-in-cheek teaser to Dreams with Outlaw Star. But yeah,
Space Dandy.
oh yeah, Space Dandy. But like I also remember when Outlaw Star was coming on, they did like a 15-second teaser that was a callback to Dreams.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I mean like so like for me, I would maybe put this in A, but like I didn't grow up with this. Like I said, if Silver was here, he would have been banging S all day. But how do y'all feel on it?
I would honestly, that you can actually make a case for it to be at S rank. This is one of the first few animes that got me emotionally invested. Is that good? Well written. Yeah, you can. I'll be okay with a high. It's definitely a high A, but you can make the case for it to be at S rank.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd go high A with it. I mean, I would agree. You could probably make a case for S. But I think that the biggest problem you run into with giving it S, at least until you talk about when it finally reran on the Adult Swim era, is they did have to cut it. I wouldn't say a lot, but they did entirely skip the Hot Springs episode.
Yeah, that
Oh,
I
that's
heard
true.
about
Yeah.
that.
I get
Yeah.
why they did it. I mean, obviously, it would have been impossible to cut that down and air it. But the unfortunate thing is, for the finale, like the events of that episode are kind of critical because that's where Gene gets the 3 like special caster shells.
Yeah.
And so it's like it's really critical to the finale, but at the same time, like there was no way that episode was ever going to be able to air on the daytime block. So like that's probably the one thing that keeps it from getting all the way up to S for me, just because at least the original broadcast was kind of hamstrung by that.
Mm.
Yeah, so sorry, like I should note that like for shows that have aired both during Cartoon Network and Adult Swim, I only put them once, although there is an exception. I don't know why I did this. I did it with One Piece, but we'll get there. But like for the shows
there's a good reason.
Well, yeah.
That one I can understand.
Yeah,
one of those shows isn't One Piece.
Well, yeah. So for the few Toonami shows that aired on both Cartoon Network and Adult Swim, I just left it as one because, I mean, for the most part, they're still the same, you know. But yeah. So sorry, Skit, to cut you off. You were saying.
I really loved this show when it was first airing. For years, I thought it was so good. I thought it was better than the other space western shows. But I've kind of cooled on it ever since. And upon rewatching it more recently, it's lost its luster for me a bit, unfortunately.
Oh.
But you know, factoring in legacy, factoring in the use in the promos, and they gave it a full uncut airing later. Like I was inching towards B, but I could go with it.
I'd be willing to give it like middle A if you know that'd be fair.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Sam, what about you? How do you feel on Outlaw Star?
I haven't watched the show in years, so I have no real opinion on it.
Okay. I guess I'll give it after Sailor Moon before Reboot. How do y'all feel on that?
I would put Reboot ahead of it.
I mean, I'm okay with that too. Yeah, I'd say honestly, yeah, put Reboot ahead of it. That's fair. Like middle A, yeah, that's fair.
All right then, moving on.
This place is a town of forgetfulness.
40 years ago, everything we knew was destroyed. The face of the planet changed forever.
There isn't anyone who really knows exactly what did happen.
The survivors left without memories. In the aftermath, a new society has formed.
I perform a much-needed job here in the city of amnesia.
In Paradigm City, the rich close themselves into giant domes, while the poor must live without protection. But one man stands for something more, and he does it in serious style.
As a professional, I just try to do my best.
His name is Roger Smith, the Negotiator.
Try this.
Goes against my principles, but I don't have a choice.
His allies, an android, a butler,
Leave this up to me.
and Big O.
It's showtime.
When they start a job, they always see it through.
Rest in peace. Bye-bye.
Enemies of Paradigm City, beware. There's a new robot on the block.
You're not going anywhere. You crazy little fool. You're going to get yourself killed. Time to finish this.
We can't stay here. If we do, we'll
It ends it once and for all.
Big O. Weekdays at 5:30. Good guys still wear black. Only Toonami.
So now we have Logan's favorite, Big O. And for this, I'm counting both seasons. And I did see Big O. Because I think I was just like watching a bunch of old stuff, and I think I mentioned, you know what, I guess I should give Big O a shot. And immediately, as soon as I said that, Logan sent me his copy, like his master like his copies of the show. So I was like watching it and reacting to it, um, and and I can see why it has it has such a cult following. I really liked it a lot, but to say I wasn't getting confused by the end would be an understatement. Um,
Well, it's a confusing show.
yes, I do like Roger and like Big O. I mean, it's exactly what Peter Cullen said. Good guys wear black. Uh, but I do understand the importance of the show, and I did enjoy it a lot. So for me, I would be I would put in A. How about the rest of y'all?
I mean, it's my favorite anime of all time. So, like, obviously, part of me is sitting there going top of S, like no discussion. But to be fair, especially with the way the first 13 episodes aired and ended with to be continued, and then you find out that there literally is no continuation, that was tough. Like
Ugh.
that was not great. And if it had honestly only ever been that, it would be like a C at best for me. The thing is, like, the fact, and granted, the second season was technically an Adult Swim thing. It wasn't a Toonami product, but I get, like, I mean, especially now, like they're all so integrated together that it just screw it, give it to it anyway.
It's honorary. I mean,
yeah, exactly. Like
Jason DeMarco co-produced on that thing.
Yeah, and the thing is,
Yeah.
like, that's the thing is, you look at the actual Toonami originals and stuff, and it's like,
No.
yeah, Big O season 2 doesn't really get counted in there because it was just a second season of an established show, so it's not an entirely Toonami original. It was an Adult Swim thing, all that. So, like, it never gets counted. But the thing is, what Big O season 2 leads to for, like, future things in the block was pretty damn important. I mean, yeah, is the ending extremely confusing? It is. Anybody who goes, "What the hell was that?" You're not wrong. So, like, for me, I'd put it high A just because I know that, like, there are issues with it, but like it's like I said, it's my favorite anime. Like, nothing has dethroned it in 20 years. So yeah.
So you're saying Big O season 2 walked so that Ninja Kamui could run?
Shut the hell up.
More like
We'll get there.
Big O season 2 walked so IGPX could drive on the track.
Yes, exactly.
How does everyone else feel on Big O?
Big O is so
like it.
stylish.
Yeah, I would go with high A myself. I didn't watch Big O until it aired on Adult Swim, and like Logan said, it does have its mistakes, but it totally makes up for it. So I'd definitely go with A.
So I guess high A. Would you say it's above Sailor Moon and Reboot, or somewhere in the middle?
Maybe behind Sailor Moon.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, as much as I love it, like, yeah, I think because Sailor Moon again was, it hits more important points as far as, first anime, like uncut, quote unquote. So yeah, I think right behind it's fair.
Yeah, Big O is a fantastic show, and I tell anybody, go check it out. You can watch the first season on High Dive.
No,
not so lucky
anymore.
with season 2. Oh, did they pull it?
Yep, it's no longer there.
I guess you're gonna have to buy that Blu-ray then.
I wonder if their license expired. Ooh.
May or may not be good news for Toonami Rewind.
I was also going to say
whenever, so it's like they own season 2, so they can run it whenever they feel like.
I was also going to say, because I forgot to mention this when we were talking Outlaw Star, you can't watch Outlaw Star anywhere anymore because it was stuck to Funimation now. Oh, it is on Hulu?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
For who knows how long?
Because I was going to say it was stuck to Funimation now.
Well, you can. I think they might be losing that license.
Well, anyway, moving on.
And Tenchi, for that matter.
Good.
Tenchi's not anywhere.
Yeah.
The newer stuff is on Crunchyroll, but like these Tenchi shows, nowhere.
Oh, the
you
old
can buy
one.
them on iTunes still, but that's it.
All right.
And I guess the Microsoft Store. But
Yeah.
I just want to gush about Big O for a sec. I know we've already ranked it, but like the Big O is so good. It's so stylish. Roger Smith is such a cool character. Dorothy's such a great character, and the butler. I mean, come on.
Any butler that has a gun is a top 10 butler for me.
And like the piston punches, like it's so satisfying. It's such a cool robot show that is also a very good like mystery drama. So.
And then season 2 turns into like a weird sci-fi drama. Like that's the other thing that's like I like about it is the 2 seasons are so very different from one another.
True.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
it's good, but it's not S tier.
Sorry, Logan. All right.
Yeah, it's fair.
He understands. Look, I'm not gonna rank my favorite anime of all time S tier.
All right. Well,
it has problems.
Well, moving on.
I'm gonna make sure that we capture every one of those cards.
For Sakura Avalon, life was all boys and schoolwork.
Does everyone know what their assignments are?
Yeah!
But an ancient book hidden in the basement has changed everything.
You gotta expect things when you least expect them.
When the cloud book opened, the world felt its fury. Now, Sakura and her friends must defeat the cloud cards one by one before they destroy the world. The greatest sorcerer on the planet is a 10-year-old girl, and the only thing scarier than battling the cards is doing her homework. These are the Guardians of Earth. Cardcaptors, Monday, June 4th at 5. It's all in the cards.
You are a card captor now.
Kids love it.
Next show is Cardcaptors. This only out of 70 episodes, only 17 of them aired, and they were only in a single month. So, yeah, I don't know much about this other than it's another magic girl show. How do y'all feel on Cardcaptors?
Well, Cardcaptors, a mystic adventure Cardcaptors, a quest for all time. It's a D.
Yeah.
That dub is a D.
Would you say bottom D or above or somewhere in the middle?
Oh, it's above Tenchi in Tokyo.
Yeah.
Okay, and now
Universal Century 0079. Mankind lives among the heavens in colonies called Zoids. But Side 3 has a dark secret.
Take your sorrow and turn it into anger.
The Principality of Zeon has declared war on the Earth Federation.
Zeon thirsts for the strength of its people.
Mankind will be caught in a conflict that rages from the Earth to the stars.
Now say goodbye.
The future depends on a ship called Hyperspace and its secret weapon. A homeless boy with powers beyond comprehension.
Those lightning reflexes. It's like he sees the future.
His name, Amaro Ray. His weapon, Gundam.
Your dirty tricks are no match against Gundam's immense power. Let's retreat!
Now a crew of orphans and rejects will change the face of history or die hard. Toonami is proud to present the most groundbreaking anime saga of all time. Fully restored, Mobile Suit Gundam. Premieres Monday, July 23rd at 5. Suit up for the first time.
The Federation has dispatched its entire mobile suit force.
Only Toonami.
Stand up for the future.
we move on to some heavy stuff. The Mobile Suit Gundam, the original series. I didn't watch this because I chose Wing instead. I'm sorry, guys. I do know some stuff though, mainly because of some later shows, like when Toonami aired the Origin.
I made years ago.
So,
I wish I had paid more attention to this show when it was airing on Toonami because it is really, really good.
the biggest problem that it had with being on Toonami is and I mean, people have made this claim for a long time, and I believe it's fair. The age of the show hurt things.
Yeah, this is not what you follow Gundam Wing with.
Right. Like, and I mean, Gundam X is my favorite Gundam show, and either X or G would have been the proper follow-up directly to Wing, at least for the daytime block. But you could have gotten away with running Mobile Suit Gundam on the Midnight Run because that was targeted at older audiences for the most part. I think they would have appreciated it more. But the other problem that Mobile Suit Gundam ran into is the unfortunate reality, and that is 9/11 happened during its run, and Cartoon Network was like, we can't have a show about war on when we've had a terrorist attack, and they pulled it mid-run. And they eventually kind of basically burned it off like late in the year for it was, I think, a New Year's marathon.
There's some episodes that never aired.
Yeah,
not on Toonami, not on Midnight Run, not in that special event, not on Adult Swim Action. It's really a shame.
There's an episode that has literally never been released outside of Japan,
and that too.
That's because Yoshiyuki Tomino seemingly hates the episode. He made a comment once in like 2003 at a convention where somebody asked him like, what's the deal with that? And he said, I can't talk about it because the people involved are still alive, but when they die, ask me that question again, or something to that effect. Now here's the irony. If you're a Gundam fan, if you've seen the movie that came out 2 years ago, I think it was.
I have.
Kukuru's Doan's Island. That is a brand new adaptation of the very episode that Tomino hates. So it's kind of ironic that they did eventually give us a new version of it in some form.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Mobile Suit Gundam, fantastic show. I mean, it's so important for like mecha anime in general. But like a B, probably because I mean, again, like looking at its reality with Toonami and how it fit into the block, not the best choice.
No, the thing is, if they had actually aired that like next to Voltron and Robotech, it would have been perfect.
Yes,
and they did run it opposite of Dragon Ball, which probably didn't help because OG Dragon Ball is such a good show for its era. So Mobile Suit Gundam feels kind of not as cool next to it. I certainly felt so when I was a teenager. But having watched this after the fact, it's such a good show. I can't give it less than an A. I think it's really fair. Good.
I was going to say, I was looking at the air order, and you're not kidding, because like it was July 23rd, 2001 to September 12th. And then and then day after that was January 1st, 2002.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So how does everyone else feel on Gundam, the original series?
I kind of agree with Sketch. I think I can't. Probably I'll put it in high B. If it's trying to follow up Gundam Ring, it doesn't hit the mark. But as a standalone by itself, it's a respectable B for me.
Please put it at the bottom of A.
I'm okay with bottom A.
Okay, bottom A. Bottom A it is.
Universal Century 0079. The 1-year war rages on. Space Noids against Earth Dwellers.
I'm gonna drive the Zeon forces right off the Earth.
Zeke against Betty.
Not bad for a Betty, but I bet you're not ready for this! Commander!
As both sides prepare for the final battle.
Run for it!
The secret love of two enemies may be mankind's only hope for peace.
Feeling it? Do you believe you can still fire at the enemy?
We're no better than they are. Gundam, 8th MS Team. Next.
You wanted to fight? Well, here it is!
Dig in. Only Toonami.
Okay, next show, another Gundam series, Mobile Suit Gundam, the 08th MS team. Once again, I don't know anything about this, so I'll be relying on Logan, the Gundam expert, and Sketch too.
I love 8th MS team. This was a better fit for introducing Toonami audiences to like Universal Century timeline
Agreed.
stuff.
Agreed.
You know, especially because the OVAs were produced around the same time Wing was. So like visually you had similar feel, you know, but it was, you know, it's basically Romeo and Juliet with giant robots. And I mean, that's not a bad thing. I just, you know, I like 8th MS team. We did never get the technical final episode. It was like a effectively a bonus episode that most of the main cast don't appear in. So to me, that doesn't count as like an incomplete run, just because honestly that episode's kind of boring. Like the last about 30 seconds of it are the only good part. So, but I don't remember. I think we'd actually already gotten through all of 8th MS team at least once on the block because it was airing 5 days a week. And it's only 12 episodes. So I'm pretty sure it had already gotten all the way through before the whole 9/11 pulled this stuff off the air. If it didn't, then just, you know, faulty memory.
Let me see. So it
did. This is interesting actually, because it was Midnight Run exclusive initially.
That's
right.
right.
It did run a full run on a Midnight Run, and then after Mobile Suit Gundam was pulled off the air, after a little time had cooled, they actually put this on the daytime block.
Right. Yeah,
So
because
that says enough about how well that performed.
Yeah, and that was another one of those shows like Tenchi where they actually went out of their way and did a whole bunch of editing to remove some nudity, because the character of Kiki, her introduction is her popping up out of a like waterfall swimming hole topless, and they added a digital bikini to her. And again, it's actually fairly impressive the amount of work they did. One of the things I've actually been kind of trying to find for a long time is I think they had to make some cuts to one episode, and they did something where they actually took some footage from the movie Miller's Report, which was mostly a compilation of like, I think it's the first 8 or so episodes of the OVA. And then it has some like kind of stringing together segments of some military forces officer investigating one of the main characters. And they actually did, for the Toonami version, they have like a custom edit that adds some of the Miller's Report footage in. And I've never actually been able to find a copy of the Toonami versions of the episodes because I've actually wanted to see exactly what they spliced in from the movie.
Gundam 0080 will continue in a moment.
Favorite heroes in short pants. Dragon Ball coming up next.
Hey, do you smell something funny?
So, how would y'all rank the 08th MS team then?
I'd go A above Mobile Suit Gundam.
Same.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
A above Mobile Suit Gundam?
I actually apparently didn't rank that on my own thing.
Huh.
I don't think I have Gundam 0080 on here either. Oh no, there it is.
Yeah, I was like one idea I did have, but I ended up scrapping it when this was still going to be a live stream. Was other people make their list and I would put them on screen and we would judge them. But like two things: one, even when the stream was still happening, I didn't get any like submissions. I think I only got like one, and like two, like I mean, I think it's just better just to go through the ranking. But anyway, next up.
I'm making you both my students from this day forward.
Here goes!
All right, here go! I can't let you hurt people.
just love fighting.
Another classic, the original Dragon Ball.
Great
Now, I have not seen this in a long time. I forgot how I watched it. I remember. I didn't even see every episode. I think because there was a time where it was on Hulu. So I watched, like, I think the first arc, like when they were looking for the Dragon Balls. But I didn't watch after that. So I didn't see, like, the 21st, was it like the first tournament arc, and then, like, the King Piccolo stuff and that. But I do know all the events. Like I have seen, like, eventually, like, footage and like, me looking up shit on YouTube and all that. But yes, Dragon Ball, the one that started it all. Sketch was already saying earlier this better be an S. So how do y'all feel on it?
Well, I specifically said it has to be above Dragon Ball Z. And since we put Dragon Ball Z in S, there go. We put Dragon Ball above Dragon Ball Z.
And then I agree, yeah. Like
I agree.
definitely.
I agree as well. Yeah.
Now, for Toonami Legacy, it's not nearly as big a deal as DBZ, but for just the quality of the show, it's so good. It is pure, great shonen. And I mean, the Legacy speaks for itself.
I mean, yeah, I mean, like it started out because it was like more comedy, like adventure, and all that, and like over the course of the series, it would kind of transition into like a battle shonen. Yeah. Okay, so I guess like we all agree it's an S then. I mean, yeah, I got nothing else to say.
Yeah, I would say that's an easy one. Like it's simple.
Something is coming to Toonami. Lockdown, a week-long Toonami event where you are the story. See it on air, play it online at Toonami.com. Starting Monday, September 17th at 5 p.m. Only on Cartoon Network.
So next up is the next Toonami Total Immersion event. I did not see this. Lockdown. I probably should have watched it, but yeah, Lockdown. The second Total Immersion event. How do y'all feel on this?
Well, Lockdown was like the ratings peak of Toonami ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't count that to specifically Lockdown, but yes. It was okay. I barely remember anything about it.
The one thing I remember about it was the whole, it really nailed the whole total immersion thing because it had the whole like go to the Toonami website and play the game thing. Yeah. Like, so they actually were like trying to give it a more multimedia thing, which you think about like that era of the internet, like that was the thing. So, driving people to their website and stuff like that, you can understand why they would do that. The one thing I will say is the timing on when it aired, it was the week after 9/11. So it was good for the block in the sense of with everything.
Lockdown, that should have aired in 2020.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
The thing is, like, it was good from the perspective of it gave the Toonami audience a sense of normalcy when you consider that, like, every network under the sun was switching to some kind of news coverage that prior week.
That's probably why it did so well.
That was hard for especially kids to deal with at the time. So like I think having a big Toonami event land where it did was really good. Like just for the sake of the audience to give them a little bit of normalcy and some fun. So it's like it's not as good as Intruder was, but it was good in what it did for the audience, I think. So I'd probably go like maybe middle A.
How does everyone else feel?
I'll probably go B. But after what Logan said, and about how it gave us an escape for like 9/11. I could see why he would want to put it in A. Me personally, if we just describing the event itself, it just doesn't live up to Intruder, and it just didn't feel like it had real stakes on the line as compared to Intruder did.
That's true.
So with that, I personally put it in like probably a middle A, or probably like a low like a high B.
I could honestly move it down to B, like maybe behind Ronin Warriors.
Yeah.
That's gonna like way be better in general, but like that's fair.
All right, Sketch or Sam, like, do y'all have anything to say?
I think B is a good choice.
I
Yeah,
guess
B seems fine. I'm not really sure how I'd compare it to pretty much any of the other events until at least the Adult Swim era. But yeah, B seems right.
All right, so next we move on.
In the year 2039, Gotham City has no heroes. Its people, no hope. Its youth, no future.
Evening, boys and girls. Who's up for some laughs?
Terry McGinnis was part of the problem.
You can't control your temper, and you'd better if you expect to get anywhere in life.
Yeah, I'll be a big success, just like you.
Until a moment of violence brought him to the door of a man named Bruce Wayne.
Let's put a smile on his face.
Leave him alone. Once known as the Batman.
Man, you're something. You okay?
Now, the Dark Knight will rise again to drive the shadow of evil from the streets of Gotham.
Let's go.
Supervillains, beware. There's a new Batman in town. Batman Beyond. Weeknights at 6:30.
You're pretty strong for some clown who thinks he's Batman.
I am Batman.
Justice returns to Gotham.
Welcome to my world.
Only Toonami.
To Batman Beyond. I did watch a couple episodes of this, and I was having a lot of fun. So, like, it's weird. I was watching this, and, like, well, one thing I knew already, well, two things I knew already was that it's supposed to be, like, set in the future with, like, an older Bruce Wayne teaching a younger guy how to beat Batman. And the second thing I knew was that that guy is voiced by Will Friedle, who's Ron Stoppable and Kim Possible, and obviously I know who that is. And when I was watching it, it's funny because it was like I never seen this show, but for some reason I got nostalgic seeing it because it kind of gives me the same vibe that like all those action shows at the time were giving. Like all the all the shows like the action shows at the time were giving, like Impossible, Danny Phantom, like Teen Titans, all that. Like I was getting that same vibe watching these, and I think I said that I might continue it, but like, yeah. So I saw like the first 10 episodes, and I had a lot of fun with it, and I know for a fact that this version of Batman does have its fans. Like I think I recently saw that they have like a new like a new animated movie coming out, and like the like Infinite Earths, and apparently Terry is gonna be in there, and a lot of people were losing their minds over that. So like I know like this version of Batman does have his fans. But yeah, what is
This
yeah.
this will sound worse than I actually mean it, but it's Batman Beyond is basically the Legend of Korra to Batman the Animated Series. Like I said, that sounds worse. That sounds a lot worse than I mean it. But that's the whole, like, if you kind of think about it, like that's what they did. Like, here, let's set it way forward, and somebody new. Or I guess the better way to put it would probably be it's the Star Trek: The Next Generation of Batman. That's probably the more positive version of saying it.
Yeah. Okay, so this is such a questionable idea on paper. Let's make Batman a teenager. But they did it right. They did it well, and it turned out incredible. Like, I don't think anybody imagined it would ever be as good as it was.
Oh yeah,
And it is straight up fantastic. Also, it's the second best Spider-Man cartoon.
So,
okay, maybe third best.
what was I gonna say? Like, yeah, there was one moment that had me laughing because like Terry was like in trouble with his mom or whatever, and he's asking Bruce Wayne for advice. It's like, dude, you're asking Bruce Wayne how to deal with an overprotective parent. That's like,
I mean, he did have Alfred.
Oh God!
But yeah, that's real orphan mood right there.
So where would you all rank Batman Beyond?
Here's the thing. I think Superman the Animated Series is absolutely fantastic. But because Batman Beyond was kind of an original idea, I often feel like maybe it should be ahead of it, but I'm okay with it being before or after Superman.
I'd probably put it just after Superman, but I could definitely see the argument for putting it ahead of it.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same as well.
Put it after Superman.
All right, after Superman it goes. All right, so next up.
Premiering Monday, November 5th at 5. Join BitCloud and Liger Zero in their quest to be the best.
Payback time, you spineless coward! How can you be so fast? Area scanned. Battlefield set up. Ready? Fight! Let's go! Time for a little action. This match just getting started. This is it, team!
Zoids, Monday, November 5th at 5. What are you making?
Zoids New Century. This was one show that I actually decided to check out, and I mentioned this off recording, but like because I was gonna give it the entire run, an entire watch of like all its episodes, but like after 6 episodes, I felt like I've seen everything. Like I don't know, it was just like I was getting bored really fast because every episode just kind of felt the same. It's like the what's his name, the main guy, like is now part of this BitCloud. He's like part of the team, and like every episode starts out with them like I guess in a match or training or something. He fucks up or someone fucks up. Then they get their ass handed to them, and then they got to learn their lesson. In the end of the episode, they win. That's the vibe I've been getting. Like I got from the first couple episodes. I don't know if it changes or anything, and I do know that like there are Zoids fans out there. I mean, the way I watched this was that some wonderful gentleman literally preserved the entire series and had a Google Drive folder up there. So when I searched Zoids New Century, the first freaking link was a Reddit forum where someone was asking, "Hey, where can I watch Zoids?" And then boom, Drive link right there with all the episodes in like 720p. And a lot of people were like, you're a savior."
Gentleman and a scholar.
A gentleman and a scholar. But yeah, I mean, yeah, that was it. Because like I was gonna give this a whole watch, but it was like after the first couple episodes, I'm like, man, like I don't know, man. Like I think I'm just gonna move on. Yeah. So how does everyone else feel on Zoids New Century?
It exists.
I
mean, that's you pretty much nailed it, and you're like, oh, I watched 6 episodes and it felt like I'd seen everything. It's like, yeah, that's
right.
kind of my takeaway from it too.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. It's a good robot battle show.
I mean,
it's pretty
like
fun.
I will say the
looks pretty
CG
nice.
on the robots is better than I would have expected.
Oh, one other thing I wanted to ask is the voice actor for Bit Cloud the same actor for Inuyasha?
He sure is.
I was gonna
That's
say I knew he sounded familiar.
Richard Ian Cox.
So
He
how
was
would
he was all over dubs at the time.
Yep.
how would y'all rank Zoid's New Century?
C.
Yeah.
C.
Yeah, I'd put it like probably low C personally, but
Put it after the real adventures.
After the real
Yeah.
adventures. Okay. All right. Next show.
December, Universal Century 0079.
Scramble, form a defensive line!
The one-year war is drawing to a close.
Under attack by 2 dog-type movie suits!
The Earth Federation has the upper hand in the neutral colony Side 6.
Report to your station!
Elite Zeon Special Forces are dispatched to destroy the Federation's secret weapon, the Gundam. Zeon's only ally, an 11-year-old boy named Alfred Izaruha. For him, war was a distant game.
Fighting inside a colony? Can't do this!
Caught between loyalties, Al must make the ultimate choice. The stakes, life and death.
We're not playing games here, you know.
The price of failure,
This colony's going to be destroyed, all right?
nuclear annihilation. Gundam 0080, a midnight run exclusive, premiering Monday, November 5th at 12:30. In war, everyone's a casualty. Only Toonami.
Is another Gundam show. Gundam 0080. Like, how do you say it? Like
0080.
0080. Gundam 0080.
Anybody hungry for hamburger?
So
Bernie!
So, where does this rank among all the other Gundams?
Really, really good.
Yeah. Easily above any of the other ones we've got on the list so far.
So would you say A or S?
Oh, easily. I don't think I'd go S. I mean, from like Gundam in general, yes. I mean, as far as Toonami stuff,
It certainly got played.
Yeah,
I would
like
be comfortable with low S.
yeah, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
So would you put it after Intruder then, or before Intruder?
Honestly, I'd probably put it below Intruder because I think for me it's straddling on the edge of A.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it does have David Hayter in it in the
Ooh.
dub, which I mean, Solid Snake, hard to go wrong with.
Nah, can't argue that. Okay, so I know Sam is excited for this. Steve,
It's Hamtaro time!
Steve wishes he was here for this. So does Silver. Yes, Hamtaro. And if you saw me earlier moving it up ahead, it was because when I made this list, I was going in a chronological order, but I guess some I managed to miss over others. So, like, Hamtaro was way later than it should, so I moved it ahead. But yes, Hamtaro. I saw 3 episodes and I was done. And the only reason I even watched it was because everyone in squad just kept bothering me. Like, because I was just gonna be like, I'm only watching 1 episode. And they were all like, no, bro, you gotta watch like at least like 5. And I'm like, 5's too much. And then I was just like,
Hey, I recommended 3. I remember recommending them. Just watch 3 episodes. It's not that much of a commitment.
What I did was that because y'all were saying 5, and then I think you said 4, and then I did the Patrick gif of 3, take it or leave it. And then everyone was like, fine. But yes, Hamtaro, it is a show.
I think we can all agree that this is a show that probably never should have aired on Toonami.
Yes.
It's not a bad show. It should just not. It's not really something Toonami should have ran, but
yeah.
Bosses had to told them basically, hey, you're running this, and you have to listen to your boss.
Yeah, yeah.
And they even got Peter Cullen to narrate it.
They did make some banger promos for it.
They did. That is fair.
Yep.
And its legacy is well known. Honestly, I would give it a B.
I'll give it a B as well.
Yeah, that's where I did it.
That's fair.
Would you put high or low B?
Low B.
Yeah.
Probably
After
Yeah, it will
Tenchi.
be.
above Tenchi.
That's above
Yeah,
Tenchi. Oh my god.
above Voltron.
Yeah,
Above Voltron. Okay.
yeah. I'd keep Robotech above it, but yeah, that's a fair placement.
What
Like,
was
it's
I
a
gonna
good dub, all things considered.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
It's a perfectly good kids show.
Yeah.
It just was.
I wish it
just
was
a
on TV now.
Yeah, it was just a bad fit for Toonami, really.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh yeah. When
Discotheque, please, discotheque, please.
Oh,
Everybody keeps asking us about that. God damn.
Steve and Silver keep bothering Logan for Hamtaro. Oh my god.
But as Sam can attest to, even if we did have it, I'm very good at not revealing my hand, because just ask him about when we had Berserk.
Oh, I hate you for that. What was I gonna say? One other thing I should note was that when I went to watch this, because it's nowhere legally, when I was on the website I was using, it had the episode count, and I literally did a drink spit because I had some iced tea on me at the episode count of over 290 episodes of
It was
this.
very popular in Japan. You know how many video games there
Oh no, I know that the
many.
frickin' Mario and Luigi like developers made a couple. What was I gonna say? Uh, uh, I think that's about it. I'm fucking done. Moving on. Next up is Zoids Chaotic Century. I did not see this.
AKA the good one.
Yes.
Yes.
So I probably should have seen this instead of New Century.
Discotheque, please.
People ask us about that one all the time too, and I think somebody else, I want to say it's Hasbro, because I think they have some kind of weird, like, they still have some kind of licensing with the toys or something. It's weird. Like, I know we've been asked about this one before, and I know we've looked into it, and to my knowledge, it's not available. But that always could change too. I mean, the last time I think I even mentioned it to somebody was like 4 years ago.
So, how do y'all feel about Zoids Chaotic Century? Like, where do you think it should go?
High B, probably.
Yeah, high B's good.
High B's good.
Yeah, put it above Ronin Warriors.
High B. Okay, so above Ronin Warriors it is.
I wish I could remember more about the show because it was really quite good. But I just didn't pay much attention to anything other than Dragon Ball and DBZ at the time. Spoiler alert, I didn't even fully pay attention to the next show. And I regret that terribly.
Oh man.
The next
I think I was seeing at the time too.
The next show.
Ladies and gentlemen, over the years, Toonami's given you some of the greatest cartoon shows ever made. Now we're proud to present our newest edition, a program about love, honor, sacrifice, revenge, and a whole lot of destruction. Let's get things started. Gundam fight all set, ready, go!
I will get rid of them with my own hands.
Your crime shall not go unpunished.
You still haven't figured out my true identity. Let's do it.
Now, fire!
What's happening? They think the planet Earth is nothing more than a playground.
Prove your worth to the Shaolin Temple.
Totally insane.
Take this! My love, my anger, and all of my sorrow! You intend to shoot your own brother? Will never be forgiven!
G Gundam, premiering next Monday at 5. Only Toonami.
Is another Gundam, and it's another Gundam that everyone keeps talking about, G Gundam.
It's a great show. It's a great show. It's a great show.
This should have aired right after Wing went off the air.
Yes.
Like
Oh,
no
absolutely.
question.
Oh, this is such a good show.
Absolutely, yeah.
This would have kept the momentum that Wing built.
I think I discussed this with a friend once. I kind of described G Gundam as like the Saturday morning cartoon. Like, it's just the perfect Saturday morning cartoon. You could just watch it. It's fun. It does have a lot of stereotypes, but it's over the top. It's fun. It's a good show.
It is.
Unlike
Yeah,
a
I mean,
lot
it was
of other
the first
shows.
like non-Universal Century Gundam, so like, that was huge for the franchise. It was it was the 15th anniversary, like, and they just, you can tell they had fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So where would y'all rank G Gundam then?
A.
A?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the only thing that I think weakens it is because there were issues with Gundam Wing, and it's ironic because the Gundams, like, apparently Walmart had issue with selling products that said, like, Death Scythe Hell on it, even though they never actually call it the Death Scythe Hell in the show. It's always just the Death Scythe in Wing. But because the merchandise and everything, they were so worried about it that when they dubbed G Gundam, they renamed God Gundam to Burning Gundam. The Devil Gundam became the Dart Gundam. They like it was like the Satanic Panic all over again. And so that's the only thing. Like, whereas Wing got an uncut dub, where it was like, Relina, I'll kill you, versus Wing had a censored dub that aired on the daytime block where it was like, I'll destroy you.
Which always
Yeah, and the
sounded
thing
more
is-
hardcore to me.
It does, yeah. But like, unfortunately, because they sent G to be dubbed by like sort of the second string Ocean Studio, which is Blue Water. Even though some of their actors, I mean, Mark Gatha as Domon is just absolute flawless casting. But the thing is, like, they didn't have the budget to do multiple versions. So we don't actually have a version where they ever call it the God Gundam or the Devil Gundam or anything like that. So that's the only thing for me that kind of knocks it down a peg, is the dub, unfortunately, will forever be censored.
Yeah, that stinks.
Discotheque, come say this.
It has a
It has a
absolutely
Blu-ray from
fantastic
Nozomi / Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
I'd honestly put it above Sailor Moon myself.
Ooh.
That's a bold choice.
Above
I
Sailor
would maybe
Moon?
put it. I would put it behind Sailor Moon.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, behind Sailor Moon it is. Next up is
The land of Eternia is a paradise with a problem. An act of betrayal has created the ultimate evil.
My face!
And his name is Skeletor.
Eternia will be mine! Battle position!
The only thing that can stop his evil horde is a legend no one believes in.
A hero shall emerge.
And a prince with an attitude.
All this battle training is just fun and games.
Now, a sword will choose its master. A boy will become a man.
I have the power!
And a hero will be born. Toonami is proud to present He-Man like you've never seen him before in an all-new original movie. Masters of the Universe. Friday at 4. Only Toonami.
He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. I'm assuming this is like a mid-2000s reboot?
It is, and it's really, really good.
I've never seen anything He-Man. The only thing I've seen was the one video. You all know the one.
Yes. He-Man 2002 was one of the early, like, there were some like 90s reboots of 80s shows, but like this was the first one that was like, this show left in the 80s and now we're bringing it back in the 2000s, like that era of shows. And it really kicked the door right open with a fantastic reboot. I was never really barely even paid any attention to the original He-Man, but like comparing it, it's night and day. This is such a way better show.
It really is
in every way. And fantastic voice cast done at Ocean. Always tickled me that Cam Clark was He-Man in that, and you have the wimpy Leonardo voice is Prince Adam, and then you have the deep Leonardo voice as the He-Man. Yeah, the only thing is that sadly it was canceled after 39 episodes, and they could have done so much more. But it's a good show. Good show. I wouldn't necessarily put it in A. I would say probably a B.
Does it at least does it at least like end decently, or does it go off on a cliffhanger or something like that?
I don't entirely remember, but I feel like it was a cliffhanger.
So B then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a B. Maybe behind Ronin Warriors.
Behind Warren Warriors, above Lockdown?
Yeah, that's a fair spot.
Yeah.
All right. Next show.
For centuries untold, the Transformers have waged war across the universe. Move out! On one side, Autobots, peaceful defenders of Cybertron. The other, Decepticons, destructive scourge of the galaxy. You have no way to stop us. The prize? Medicons, an ancient race of power-enhancing Transformers. Inadvertently, two teams have activated a signal, bringing the chaos of this war to planet Earth. You have something of mine. Whoever can possess the Minicons will command their great power. Now, every Transformer in the universe will fight to claim them, or die trying. Give it up, Megatron! Transformers Armada, Friday at 4. Much more than meets the eye. It's time to turn it up. Only Toonami.
Transformers Armada. I have not seen a single Transformers series, so I got no idea.
This was such a disappointment to me when it originally premiered. Because I was like, what is this Pokemon crap? This is not Transformers! But you know what? It actually did get better and gradually became a pretty okay show. But, I'd
go like low C.
C. Yeah.
Low C.
Also, I absolutely hated Carlos. Matt Hill doing that terrible voice.
Good lord. All right, so next. Oh, sorry.
What saves it is a David K. Megatron.
Yes.
So next up.
Entering hyperspace in 3.
Hyperspace is no joke.
1.
Everything has to be perfect. The slightest error, a single miscalculation, can be devastating. What's wrong? This September, Tom and the Absolution are caught between dimensions on a collision course with Earth. And saving them is your problem. Trapped in hyperspace. Watch Toonami starting September 16th at 4.
Wait, got an idea.
Log on to Toonami.com. Play the online game. Just another hookup from Toonami and Toonami.com.
I'm gonna jack into S.A.R.A systems and try to break this virus before we crash.
Good luck, hero. Only Toonami.
Why are you doing this?
For fun.
Is the next Toonami Total Immersion event, Trapped in Hyperspace. I did not see this either, so what would y'all rank this among the Total Immersion events?
Just put it right next to Lockdown.
Yeah, I honestly don't remember much about this one other than, the name basically says enough of it.
Yeah, it's a step up from Lockdown, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd probably put it above Lockdown, but they're like neck and neck.
Yeah.
All right. Well, next one is.
Attention, nations of the world!
An evil force is tearing our country apart.
Face the new dark age!
Their name is Cobra.
Hit the deck! It's Cobra!
The only soldiers for the job are a team of real American heroes.
Let's take them!
G.I. Joe. Tonight at 12:30. Yes! Only Toonami.
Now we know!
And knowing is half the battle. Yo, Joe.
G.I. Joe, a real American hero. Is this another case of 80s show turned gritty 2000s show, or?
No, this is the actual 80s show, which
it is?
isn't bad. It's fine.
Huh.
It's pretty good. I would even say it might be better than G1 Transformers. It's an okay show. They threw it on the midnight run because I swear one day Turner woke up and said, I'm going to buy G.I. Joe. And yeah, they threw it on the Midnight Run. It was very interesting having G.I. Joe and G Gundam in the Midnight Run.
So where would you all
play on the Saturday Video Entertainment System? That's high C.
I'd probably go high C. The biggest problem is it's typical 80s cartoon, and then it's very toyetic. Which that's probably one of the biggest problems when you get to rerunning them. Is it's like, well, you're not selling these toys anymore, and you're trying to target an audience that it's like, do they care? So it's like, yeah, it's all right, like high C.
Put it behind Tenchi.
Behind Tenchi. Behind Tenchi, above Gundam Wing. All right.
Okay, no, put it.
It's got to go, and it's got to go behind Thundercats also.
Yeah, behind Thundercats.
Yeah,
Thundercats,
right there's fair.
Yeah.
All right. Next up is
what happens when a game becomes real and none of the rules apply. For a young sorcerer named Tsukasa, the virtual world of the game has become his reality.
Where am I?
Inside, Tsukasa can fight, make friends, feel pain.
Tsukasa.
The only thing he can't do is log out. Enter the world of Dot Hack Sign, premiering Saturday, February 1st at 3.
Let me go!
Hate the game, not the player.
Why me?
Only Toonami.
Dot Hack Sign. I did not watch this. I know about it, but I've never seen it.
Only 4 episodes aired on Toonami.
Only 4 aired. So how would
the Saturday block?
This is another one of those like Dot Hack walked so SAO and all the other isekais could run. Not that it was the first isekai in any way. Like that's not fair. But it's the MMO aspect is more SAO. Like there's a genesis there.
But it was written at the same time as Reki Kawahara's first draft.
Oh, that's boy! True.
But let's not have that conversation. Anyway, Dot Hack was it was the weird. It was like Cartoon Network was working with Bandai on so many things at the time, and Bandai was like, okay, we're going to make a big deal about this thing, and we want you to air it. We want you to air all of it. And Cartoon Network was like, okay. And I'm sure at some point Cartoon Network was like, what did we do?
Yeah.
But it's an okay show. The first one is a pretty good show.
I'm assuming it's not fit for a daytime Cartoon Network.
It wasn't like too much content-wise, like maybe a little bit. He does run some gross breasts at some point. No, I'm thinking of the other one. Legend of the
Its main problem was it was one of those multimedia franchise things where it was like, here's an anime, and here's a PlayStation game, and here's this, and here's that. And it's like, please.
It's also really slow and plotting.
All of it.
Also, it was a B-Train show.
Yeah.
God, I hate it when they do that, because then it's like they're putting all their eggs in one basket for something to take off, and if it doesn't take off, then freaking what was the point? Like I saw that recently with the freaking Scarlet Nexus, and I think they're doing it again with Sandland.
Well, I mean, at least Sandland started as a manga.
Yeah. So where would you all put Dot Hack Sign?
Low C?
Low C?
No, that's pretty harsh. It's a pretty good show. It's just kind of slow and plotting. Put it after Thundercats.
Above?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
So wait, hold on. I'm trying to. Where did I? Oh! You said above Thundercats?
I would say after Thundercats.
After Thundercats?
Yeah. Like, I think it's a better show than Thundercats, but Thundercats has a bigger legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, then.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
So next up is...
On the road of life, second chances are rare.
Watch out, kid!
But for Yusuke Urameshi, fate has intervened.
This is weird.
You have all that's required to be detective of the spirit world.
That's a fancy title.
Between the world of the living and the realm of the dead, he is both champion and protector. YuYu Hakusho, tonight at 6.
Now die.
Only Toonami.
YuYu Hakusho. Now this so I did watch season 1, which is like all the Spirit Detective stuff. I stopped just before the Dark Tournament, which I know is like the biggest like part of the show that everyone loves to talk about. Like I'll get back to it at some point. And I know it's by Togashi. So I know I like pretty much I know the vibe is that Yu Yu Hakusho walked so that Hunter x Hunter could run. Uh and I enjoyed it a lot. I really do like Yu Yu Hakusho, and I will get back to it at some point. I know it has its fans. Like a lot of people prefer Yu Yu Hakusho over Hunter x
Oh,
Hunter.
it has its fans. Yu Yu Hakusho is tremendously popular.
Yeah.
It's a really good show.
For me, I would put it between like a maybe low A in my opinion. But how about you guys?
I scoff at you, sir. Yu Yu Hakusho is like shonen perfection. I would either put it behind OG Dragon Ball or ahead of OG.
You would say it's S tier?
Yes, I would.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I would agree.
I mean, to be honest, I did not see the entire thing yet, and this is me with already having seen Hunter x Hunter. Okay, so S tier, you would say behind Dragon Ball?
Yeah, I'd probably put it behind original Dragon Ball. I'd put it above DBZ though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They were like so I guess the next one's a little controversial.
Japan, 1867. The Tokugawa dynasty stands upon failing legs. An invincible samurai, Kenshin Himura, walks the path of death and destruction, ushering in a new regime. Hated and feared by many, he is known as Hidokiri Batosai, the Manslayer. In retribution for his deeds, he has taken an oath to protect the innocent and never kill again. But old memories seldom fade, and bad habits die hard.
What are you, another wannabe samurai?
I wasn't finished speaking.
Rurouni Kenshin premieres Monday, March 17th at 6:30. Only Toonami.
Oh, I hate that I like this show so much.
Rurouni Kenshin.
Oh,
To be fair, when most of us watched this, we didn't know.
The thing was
is
for
true.
me too was that at one point I was planning to watch it, but then like everyone, but then I think shortly after that that news dropped, and I was like,
We're not going to beat around the bush. He's a pedophile.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
He's a pedophile, and he had enough CP that the police thought that he was a distributor.
Yeah. And he got off with a slap on the wrist.
A slap on the wrist.
God damn it, Japan.
Ridiculous. Oh, but if you got with any kind of drug in Japan, your career is over forever.
That's terrible.
Terrible, bro.
Judging the show purely on its own merits.
It's a pretty good show.
It's a really good show.
Yeah.
And when it was airing on Toonami, it was the coolest thing. Like, Yu Yu Hakusho just came on and was like, Yu Yu Hakusho had already had some time on Adult Swim, so we're like, that was hype. But Rurouni Kenshin coming out of nowhere was like, oh, yeah! Toonami is back! Adult Swim can kick rocks!
Yeah, and from what I
mean,
hear,
at the time, we were like, oh, we didn't get Inuyasha. We didn't have Yu Yu Hakusho at first, but they did move it over there. We lost Big O to Adult Swim. We're losing Gundam to Adult Swim. Man, what's Toonami got? Toonami's got Rurouni Kenshin, bitch.
yeah, and from what I hear, the original show is better than like the recent like adaptation they put out. That's what I've been hearing, at least. Like I don't know.
Yeah, it's a really well animated show.
It's just the giant elephant in the room is that you can't ignore the crimes of the author.
Yeah.
Um,
I would say if judging based purely on its merit, I would go low S.
Low
Yeah.
S.
Just the show on its own, ignoring the controversy. You know, it's one of those separate the art from the artist kind of things. Which you know, it's hard to do, but you know, in a case like this, that you kind of have to.
I completely condemn the author, but man, low S. I want to dock it points, but it's so good.
Yeah.
And I will never watch it again.
Yeah. At least until he's dead.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Like once he can't make anything off it, I'm gold with it. But till then, I just can't do it.
Hurry up and kick the bucket.
Yeah, please.